Hello, Mr. Wilson here, high school computer science teacher. If you are a teacher, then you have no doubt, like me, been spending a lot of time thinking about how exactly am I going to do this, preparing all kinds of lessons. One of the potential problems that I have found is a matter of classroom management. Now, I'm going to be using Google Meet, which is a video conferencing tool to communicate with my students. Now, in the past, when I've done this, I've noticed that the vast majority of my students did not actually turn their camera on for whatever reason. Maybe they're just not comfortable having their camera on. Maybe they don't have a camera. They don't know how to use it. Whatever. I usually have about 7 out of the 36 students that I have turn their camera on. So how are they going to get my attention when they have a question? It's not like they can be waving their hands around or something like that. Now, in Google Meet, there is a chat bar on the side of the screen that they can type their questions into. But often students will reply to each other and that starts to fill up quite fast. And I would have to then go scroll through this list of questions and answers and just stuff. And it would take me a long time to find the actual questions in there to be able to address them. So what I wanted was a solution that would be easier all around. I'd like to have all of my students' names in one place, a little box right next to them that says any question that they have. Then I could address to the whole class the answer to that question if necessary, but I also wanted the option to reply only to that particular student if it was a question that only that one student needed the answer to. And then while I was at it, why not use the same tool for attendance as well? I could see who is in the class. It could be all listed alphabetically, so I don't have to call out the names of all the students. I don't have a seating chart or anything, and Google Meet seems to put everybody's picture in a completely random order each time I use it. So I was looking for a tool that would help me with all of these classroom management things, and I couldn't find one that did all of this. So what I did was I created a tool, and I'd like to share it with you because I plan to use it extensively, and it may be beneficial to you as well. So we're all in this together, and I'm hoping that you'll find it useful. So let's go ahead and take a look at how exactly this works. All right, so what we're looking at here is what the computer screen of 3 different people would look like. We're seeing the teacher side here, and then so that you know what the students are seeing as well, I've got one student computer here and another student computer down here. So we're gonna have 2 students in our class, and we're gonna get to see what the teacher sees as well. So we're going to start by typing in a join code. So the way we do this, you can be any code that you want, any string of letters or numbers or whatever, just no symbols or anything. And capital letters and lowercase letters, there is a difference there. So make sure you pay attention to what you're typing. I'm just going to use a simple code like 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll go ahead and submit that. Now, when you signed up for the website, it also asked you what classes you teach. So I had populated the database already with all the different periods and classes. And today we're going to be doing period 7. So I'm going to choose my period 7 class. Now you can see that there are 2 students in this class. Wouldn't that be nice? This is just for demonstration purposes. In reality, this would be probably a long list, 20, 30, 36 kids. All of your students would appear here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have our students sign into the class now as well. I know that none of these students have arrived yet because when a student arrives, their name turns green to let me know that they're here. That's how I use this for attendance. So here, the join code, they're just going to type in the same join code you did. So you're going to have to provide that number to your students. They're going to submit it right there. It lets them know right up here at the top that they are connected to game programming with Mr. Wilson. And you can see that student's name now lights up green. Now this student, his name is also Michael Wilson. He's going to type in the same join code and hit the submit button, and his name will light up green as well. Now when a student has a question, it's really easy. All they have to do is type the question in the box. This little exclamation point icon appears to let them know that they have not yet sent this message. So they have to hit the send button. So they're going to hit that, and the little exclamation point turns to a check mark to let them know the message has been sent. Over on the teacher side, you can see that message just pops in right away. It lights up the box yellow just to kind of make it stand out a little bit more so that you know you have a question waiting for you there. Now, like I said, in reality, this list will probably get pretty long. You'll have a lot of kids in your class, and some of those kids might be off of your screen. So no matter where you are, in the upper right-hand corner of this window, this little blinky box will appear to let you know you have a message waiting, and you can scroll through your list to find it. If it's a question that you think everyone needs to know, then go ahead and verbally answer the question in your video chat session. But if it's just a one-on-one type question, you can type your reply here. Just like on the student side, you get the little exclamation point and your box turns pink as well, just to remind you that you've written the message but you haven't yet sent it. And you can type in multiple messages if you want. You can send comments and questions and stuff to any student. They don't necessarily have to ask you first. So here you can see I'm going to send both of these students different comments. When I'm all done typing my messages, I just hit the send button. You can hit that send button at any time and send what you have typed. And messages that come to you happen pretty quickly. There's about a 30-second delay on messages that you send back to students. So here you can see that each student gets their individual message back just like that. Now, you'll notice that the message box is still blinking here. When you have addressed a question, you're now done with it, all you have to do is hit that little X button to get rid of the question. And when you have cleared all of your questions, your little blinky box goes away and you know that everything has been answered. You can also clear your comments as well if you wanted to remove those. Here you can see that the messages, my responses have now been removed. Now, one of the nice things about this is if you were in class, you would know right away if a student just up and left. But how are you going to know that they've left if you're in this online thing? If they navigate away from this page, like here, if I hit the back button, for example, or if I close the window altogether, as soon as I leave this page, after about 30 seconds, it's going to light up red to let me know that that student has left. There you go. The red indicator now means that that student is no longer active on the platform. Now, if you were having a video conference, you might say, well, why don't I just notice their screen disappear? Not necessarily. If you're looking at 36 different kids and all of a sudden one of them disappear, now remember they were in a randomized order, you might not know who exactly it was that disappeared, and you'd have to go through your entire roster again to find out who is missing. So this right away just makes it very clear as to who is no longer active on the platform. When you first sign into myclassroomwebsite.com, you'll be presented with this screen. If you don't have an account yet, you'll need to create an account. It's pretty straightforward. It'll walk you through the process. Just answer the questions. And when you're all done, then you can sign in. Here's the main menu. This website does a lot of stuff. It was originally created as a place for students to go where they could type in notes, create outlines, do other written assignments. It also allows real-time monitoring so that the teacher can monitor the progress of students while they're working on their assignment to make sure that they're actually making progress and not just goofing off and things like that. So it's got a lot of useful tools in there, but specifically what I wanted to talk to you about today was that attendance and participation feature. So let's go ahead and take a look at the screen, and here is that new option, attendance and participation. We'll go ahead and click on that. Now here you can see that this is the list of all the students that are in the class. Right now it is empty. I haven't had anyone sign up for the class yet. So what I'm going to do is show you what this looks like on the student side and how they will actually enroll in your class. So here what I'm going to do is go ahead and put the teacher side here on the right, and we'll have their student side here on the left. Now, if your student is using this tool for the very first time, they're going to need to create a new account. But if they already have a username and password, fantastic, they can go ahead and just sign in. I'll walk you through the process of both. So let's pretend that this student has never used this before, so they're going to create a new account. It says, who are you? I am a student. We're going to create a student account. Did your teacher give you a join code in advance when you tell the students what website to go to? Just make sure you give them the join code 1234. So yes, we did get a join code. So here with the join code, the sign up process is really quite straightforward. They're just going to type in the join code that you provided them. They're going to type in their name. We'll just say that this student's name is John Smith. All right, once he's populated all of the boxes, then he's going to click the Create My Account. All right, and he's now taken to his main menu screen. And you can see that right away on the teacher side, this student is now enrolled in our class. It's automatic. Once they create the account with the join code, the system now knows who they are, what school they go to, that you're their teacher for this particular period. It's all automatic and they're added to your list. Now let's go to a different scenario where a student already has an account. What's that going to look like? So here, if this student is already using this tool with another teacher, they would just type in their username and password. Now, if the student has already gone through the normal setup process, then they are already added to your class. But if not, then they can click the Change Class Schedule button, and here they can select what teachers they have for what periods. You can see that this student isn't on my roster. Right now I only have one student on my roster. And so when he tries to type in the join code, it's going to tell him that he's not enrolled in this class. And he can click on this link to take him conveniently right to that same page where he can specify that in period 7 he's in Mr. Wilson's game programming class, and he can hit the submit button. But let's say that the student is having trouble doing this, or maybe they just don't understand it. If you just want to add your students manually, you've got a button right here, add a student to this roster. Now you can add this student, just ask them for what their email address is. They will need to be the email address that they signed up with when they created an account here. And when you hit this button, now it'll tell you that the student was added to the roster, and now you can see we have 2 students on our roster. One is currently active, and then the other one hasn't signed in yet. So when I come back over here, now when he clicks on attendance, he'll be able to use the join code, and he is now a member of the class. You'll see his name lights up green as well.